Hello my dear Sagittarius, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between February 16 and February 28, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I have put astrological information for the month of February in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se, where you can also find and buy all the decks I'm using in this video. For this reading, I used the Tarot of the Hidden Realm by Barbara Moore and illustrated by Julia Jeffrey, and I will start shuffling your cards. So, when I open your deck here, I see the Ten of Swords. They are both in the reversed. So, Ten of Swords and the Tower. That's the blasted beach. Oh my God, Sagittarius. This is harsh as an opening. But Ten of Swords, it's minor arcana death. And the blasted beach is the tower that's falling. It's like your foundation is falling. So now it's the time to look at everything in your life that's not supposed to be there. And it needs to be cut away and cut loose. And everything that is not built on solid ground needs to be erased, and you need to start over. Probably there's a new fresh start waiting for you, but first you need to demolish the old things, the things in your life that doesn't work. You have tried 7 zillion times to make it work, and it doesn't. So now you really need to try something more radical, I guess. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is saying that maybe not all hope is gone for whatever it is that you have been doing. There might be foundations left also in crappy situations. The Eight of Pentacles is talking about, it's a situation that's repeating in circles. Eights are like an eternity symbol. It's always repeating and repeating. And for every lap, you are challenged, so you feel like, oh, there's a problem and I need to solve it, and you will get new ideas, and for every lap you try something new. But if you try the same thing over and over and over again, that's more the Eight of Swords, then you're stuck. But here it's you are finding solutions, you are crafting your performance, or the way that you engage with others. I'm not meaning that you are engaging with others in the wrong way. I'm rather thinking that there's people in your life that might not do the work together with you, or of course it can be Sagittarius not doing the work also. But this is what I'm feeling mostly. You need to apply it in your situation. And if you're a cross-watcher, also apply it to your situation. If it's the Sagittarius that you feel is not putting in the effort. Effort means sitting down, taking the discussion, sorting things out. What's the problem? What can we do about it? Anyone that closes their eyes to a problem or don't want to talk about it is avoiding, and there's no foundation being built on avoiding. You need to talk things through. Of course, it's very difficult to talk things through if the other person is hysterical or overdramatic or blaming. You should not blame people. You should be like, this is how I feel, this is my experience, and you need to take responsibility for your experience. And you can't keep on being with a person and nagging on them because they are who they are. Either you love them for who they are, or you decide that their love is not enough and you move on. Okay, so it's a harsh lesson for both sides here. And I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And here we have another 8, and that's the 8 of Cups. 8, it's the old Lion's Gate that we went through in August, and we had something similar in the end of January. It's actually today. It's the full, when I'm recording this, it's going to be the full moon. The second full moon in January, and it's going to be with a lunar eclipse. And from my Swedish point of view, this moon is in Leo. So it's a kind of a repetition of the old eclipse season that we will have. Also in February there will be a solar eclipse. Yes, so there's things going on here. We also have Leo in North Node, Aquarius in the South Node. So all the 8s are connected to Leo. It's connected to the Strength card. So it's about you need to do things that you were not strong enough to do in the past. So for example, if you were in the past, you stayed with a lover that didn't seem to love you that much. And you think back and you think that, oh, I should have gone, I should have done this, I should have done this. Now it's time to do it if you find yourself in a similar or the same situation. Also, other things that you need to do is, if you have had a hard time revealing yourself to others, now it's time to stand in your full own glory and stand tall and show everybody who you really are. Okay, so it's like up to proof now. Are you a man, woman, or are you a mouse? Okay, so I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, Knight of Pentacles, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Sagittarius viewers. So Knight of Pentacles is Taurus and Ace of Swords is a challenge. Taurus can be challenging, but no, this Knight of Pentacles here, it's a person that's very thorough. They want to make things, like they want to have a plan for things and for the long haul. So they are not just jumping into conclusion of a situation. They carefully and slowly monitoring everything. When you have the Knight of Pentacles coming into a reading, it's like a little bit of a halt. It will take time. Their digesting system is slow. Taurus have like 3 or 4 stomach, I don't remember. Cows, that is, okay. So they are slow in digesting things and to know where they want to go later on. They might be like a turtle also. I'm thinking about like the story of the whole universe being a turtle. So it's not just Taurus that's slow, it's the whole universe that's slow here. And then we have the Ace of Swords, so this is apparently a challenge. So I think you in this situation needs to be very thorough. You need to be very clear with what you want and relentlessly work towards that goal. And if it includes another person, still we don't have any control over other people. Sorry, we can control ourselves, but to a certain limit, but we can't really control anyone else or whatever the universe throws at us. So it's just showing that you need to center yourself in this situation and be very, very calm and cool and kind of accept whatever happens and be very earth grounded, and in the same time have a very keen instinct, like being really awake, okay, awakened, not falling asleep. Falling asleep is like when you drive to work from A to B and you don't remember how you got there, then you fell asleep. If you remember all the cars that you met and who was sitting in them and what colors they had, then you were awake. So you need to start to become more awake on your journey to see what's really going on. Okay, so so to give us a clear view reading for my dear Sagittarius viewers, I want my dear Sagittarius to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So my dear Sagittarius, see what's going on for you here, the second part of February 2018. Okay, so there it was suddenly done. So I will pause a little bit because I forgot to turn on your light. It might not do any difference because it's very bright light here today in Sweden. So I don't know if it made any difference, but now I'm going to tune in to you Sagittarius and your energy for the second part of February. So my dear Sagittarius, this is your future there, and this is your now there, and this is the past. So in the past we have 4 of Swords, so it seems like it has been rather slow also in the past. 4 of Swords might be a silent treatment. It might be a situation where you need to be alone to digest what you have been through. It's not really a healing card, it's more like brushing things underneath the carpet card. 4 of Swords, it's it can be peace also, peace, but peace that's accomplished by avoiding to talking about certain subjects. But Four of Swords is rather harmonious, but it's also stale. It's like stuck in the past, you can say. So it's not much forward movement. But you saw the butterflies in that picture, so showing that it can be a transformation if anyone starts to make the talk. And here you have the King of Wands, so that's of course you, Sagittarius. It might be a Leo also, or an Aries, or another Sagittarius person that you are involved with in your life. But King of Wands, it's showing that you are kind of a leader in this situation, a spiritual leader. And it might be that you have been silent because of you wanted to kind of be polite in a situation, and maybe didn't want to tell people what you saw was really going on. And maybe you didn't want to stir up difficulties or making a person that you really loved angry with you and maybe leaving you. So it might be you that has been holding back out of courtesy or out of fear of rejection or for starting some kind of fire. And here you have a Five of Pentacles, so it didn't really make the job for you. You still feel left out in the cold. You still feel like people don't love you. So bending your back didn't really work, especially when you are the King of Wands. You're not supposed to bend your back. You're supposed to lead the troops to the new tomorrow, okay? So if you don't put light into the situation, no one will. If you don't heighten the vibration of the situation, no one will. So it seems like you're kind of bowing your head and unfolding your wings to be able to step inside a house. That is from Khalil Gibran, the prophet, about houses, that your house shouldn't be a place where you need to do this. Put together, unfold your wings to be able to fit in. And I think this is it's painting a very beautiful picture for this situation. And I think this is what you're doing. You are minimizing yourself so you won't cause trouble. It's like you're feeling that you are a big dragon, and if you open your mouth and said something, you'll be out on the streets. No one will love you. But newsflash, you are out on the street anyway, because no one will love you if you don't show who you are truly, like the true you, okay? So, and all people, even if you are nice and trying to keep back like aggression and viewpoints that you think would be catastrophic for the situation, people still know that you're holding back. So it's like you're keeping secrets. They feel that you are keeping secrets, but really you're just trying to be polite. And this politeness is not getting you anywhere. I'm not saying that you will, if you see a person that has a dreadful haircut, you need to go and say to them, oh, you have a dreadful haircut. Only stupid people do that. What you might need to do is when people are doing things against you, like they are not polite towards you, and you don't want to start a fight, so you don't say anything. Situation that concerns you. You don't run around making other people feel ashamed over themselves when it's really you, in that case, that's ashamed of yourself. Because if one is preoccupied with going around telling people how about how they dress or how their hair is or what they did wrong the last week, we really have a bad self-esteem. And the Five of Pentacles is about having a really crappy self-esteem, and this is a picture of non-self-love. We are trying to fix it, obviously, in this picture, but it's not love. It's not, you are not loving yourself, and the value you have on yourself is also the value you will have in your wallet, because this is how much energy you allow yourself to receive, to take in. So start loving yourself, and if you notice that there's any person in your life that's either holding back information or saying things that are really like rude, there's a balance here. They might be not loving themselves that much, and you don't have to take it personally, okay? It's not about you. if a person go around saying that people are fat, they probably are scared every time they look in the mirror because, oh, I'm fat. This is what they see. So they need to also drag someone else along down with them. So you don't have to be so worried about that. That's more, you need to be more worried about that person saying those things. And you should say, okay, so you are scared about your weight. What can we do about that? No, don't play games. Okay, so this is the past for you, Sagittarius, and we have a 3 of Swords. So you are being very hurt by this situation that you're in. 3 of Swords might be you're feeling backstabbed, or you loved someone very dearly and they didn't love you back. 3 of Swords is also very ancient pain. It's almost like this picture is a little bit Victorian, so it's from olden days. So it's something that repeats. So why this trauma has been reopened, it's just so you can heal it properly. And you have the 4 of Swords there, 3 of Swords. 4 of Swords is kind of when you put the first band-aid on your wound and then you try to forget about it because it hurts so much. But when in the process of forgetting about it, it's not healing, it's starting to become infected. So we are going back from 4 of Swords to 3 of Swords, trying to see, okay, we need to reopen the wound. So it might be that the divine has put like a big drama, like a big dramatic scene, repeating something from the olden days, from 10 years ago, from your childhood, from another lifetime, and just repeating the drama. So the wound will be reopened, maybe with the less intensity this time. Maybe the first time it was much more dreadful, but this time it's more maybe lightweight. Maybe not with the 10 of Swords and the Tower, but usually it's like this. The first time is really traumatic, and the other time is more like you're playing car accident. You're not really experienced the actual car accident, you're just playing it. So the wound will be reopened. You will be able to put attention to it, your I in the I am, and stay with it until it's healed, until it's digested. So it's just a help, this catastrophe repeating itself. Yes, you see, it's a help to heal. This is the 21, the World card. 2 + 1 is 3. You have the 3 of Swords here. So it seems like it's your feminine side to you that has gotten hurt. It's not your pride or anything like that, as it would be with kind of 5 of Swords. Here it's your heart, it's your feminine side, it's your yes, it's your self-esteem, like this, like self-love, being not self-esteem but self-love, self-love from about your inner child, your inner core. So if you feel yourself, for example, to be an over-dramatic person, you need to start loving that over-dramatic person in yourself, the inner child that's crying and crying and crying, because it is what is hurt, it's what's in pain. So you need to give it all attention and love it and embrace it, and then you will nurture it, build a foundation for it, and from there it can grow and not be so dramatic anymore. But you can't ask someone, I see your inner child here underneath this, I don't love myself, and you can't heal someone with shuffling them out in the cold and say, be quiet, don't be so darn dramatic. It's not going to help. They are bleeding to death. They need an ambulance. They don't need to be shuffled into the cold. So we see here, this is the story what I told you, that the wound is reopened so you can heal it. It's very beautiful. It's just saying that whatever situation you have been in that has been like awful, it has really just been there so you could reopen the wound, the old wound, and heal it. And here you have the High Priestess. So why are you supposed to reopen the wound and heal it? Because all wounds, all traumas, all challenges that we are being put through is going to give us experience. Okay, we are here as souls in a human body to make an experience, and the High Priestess, she's the one that kind of takes in the experience. She's the one that evaluates the experience and write it in the book, and then we put it in the library of the high priest. Okay, so he stores the knowledge, and she's the one that's kind of writing it down, because she has contact with all the antennas, all these Page of Cups, Page of Cups and coins and wands and swords. So she has connection with all these antennas out there, you know, inside of you, and she can take the knowledge that they carry, because all your inner children, like if your thought is hurt, like you are not allowed to think for yourself and then speak, the Page of Swords is hurt, and you lose your ability to, you don't feel smart anymore, and you feel like you can't say anything. And the Page of Cups is your emotions. The Page of Coins here, Pentacles, is your self-esteem, like loving yourself exactly the way you are. And the Page of Wands is your soul. It's the message from your soul. And so all these small entities needs to be listened to. Like if you feel an extreme longing, so you think, I don't want to long after that person was an idiot. Well, the longing comes from your soul, because there's something, you have a mission there. So it's something you need to do. So you need to accept that you long for the person. It might be the only thing you need to do. And then, okay, so you can't do anything about it. You long for them, and you don't want to be with them because they are stupid, or you don't they are not in love with you, maybe, or they don't do the work together with you, or they are avoiding the work that you need to do together. So then you this is a perfect moment where you can grow, when you accept that you long for someone and you want them so badly, but you can't do anything about it. So it's like you sit in the center, you become the Buddha. I don't mind what happens. I know my soul wants this, but I can't control this situation. This is when you really start to get advanced spiritual knowledge. So everything is there for a reason, and the reason is for you, the soul, that's you, to get this certain experience. And if you blindfold yourself and kind of you don't acknowledge that you are in pain. My foot is lost, but I will play it cool. I don't feel it. I don't want to be dramatic about it. That is when you can't get the experience of the situation. You can't get the knowledge out of the situation. So this is just avoidant behavior, and you really need to, dive into it, whatever it is that's scaring you, and just start to integrate it. The High Priestess is number 2. She's connected to 20, judgment. Judgment is experience, life experience that can't be told, but needs to be experienced by you. So you will understand it through the core of you. So even if your parents said, don't drive too fast with a car, you might not really understand it before you have seen one of the horrible Swedish movies about driving too fast with a car, what will happen. No. It's like teaching movies, and it's there to shock you. And you might have this in other countries too. And that might make you not drive too fast with a car, or an actual car accident. So sometimes you can learn, but you need to learn by almost experience it, or actually experience it. Even if you see something in movie, it's like you have experienced it. Your mind, your body can't tell if you were actually in that situation or not. So we should be a little bit careful with what we're putting into our digestive emotional system. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is a situation, probably a rather awful situation, with maybe a soulmate, someone who has come down just to do this work together with you and be your adversary, and to reopen this wound so you finally could get the information out of it. So that's the short interpretation of this. And here is your now, and we see the Three of Cups is coming underneath the Three of Swords. So that is saying to me that maybe there's a three-party situation going on here with the Three of Swords above this Three of Cups. But this is also how we heal. We heal by being together with other people. We heal through social situations. So for example, if you have been through a car accident, what you need is someone to comfort you, okay? And you need to also, the process of digesting pain or sadness is not an ongoing suffering through hell. what you need to do is to, when you cry, you cry. When you start to feel happy, you use that energy to do happy things, and then you will be sad again, and then you feel happier, and you use that energy to do happy things, be out with people, do things that makes you happy, and usually social situation makes us very happy, and then you fall back in the sadness again. So it's a circular, everything is circular in life. And Three of Cups is connected to the Empress, so it might be a very, very deep love here. This is the kind of love that is very unconditional. Sometimes there's people that had this low self-esteem. They can't really love themselves, so they need to tap into love from other people, so they can never be alone. They always need to have like a girlfriend or a boyfriend in every corner. And these people, they are not hurting just themselves, they are hurting other people too. But this is one of the situations I see. But the deeper knowledge of this is that you need to love yourself, and then first you can love other people in this very unconditional way. In other case, you just tap into other people's energy and drain them like a vampire. That's also with the Three of Swords here, a little bit vampirism. Okay, and here we have the Hierophant. So this is your human library where you store all the knowledge. And she comes to this temple and put in the book there and say, this is what the latest, what we have come forward to. And the Hierophant is storing it in the library and getting all the knowledge out of it. And this, the Hierophant is like the shaman, the priest, or the scientist of our community. So there's a lot to learn from your relationships. It's a lot to learn from social situations. This can also be a situation where you want to commit to a person, like in a very traditional way, commit to them, maybe by marrying, or in someone else way celebrating your union. Okay. And here's the Fortune Fairy, so it's number 10. It's the Wheel of Fortune. So this is what I told you. If you do the work with, erasing everything in the old that's not stable, that's not really there, and see what it is that you really want, everything that you dream of is right here before your nose. You're seeing this. It's just beautiful yellow energy coming from you. Okay. So this is a little bit more like the pink that we see in her dress. You can see it here, this coloring. And so you are sad, but this is what you are supposed to experience in the second part of February. It's showing this circular movement that in the first part, in January, in the first part of February, you might be digesting a lot of pain like this. And here in the second part, you are coming out of it and into happiness. And you might be, either you have gone through a big cataclysm in your relationship, for example, and then you come out on the other side and you feel much happier, and this is when you can start to plan your future and plan whatever happy event you want, and start seeing a vision of it, or actually taking actions towards it. But it can also be smaller, just being sad here and becoming much more happy here. So it's the Wheel of Fortune. You need to decide what it is that you want for your future and rolling the dice. Okay, so the circular movement, digesting pain and then being happy, digesting pain and then being happy. And here, when you're happy, you really need to suck the life out of this happiness. So if you finally feel some energy, because here you're a little bit drained, if you feel the energy here, if you're single, go on dates. If you are bored, start to find out what's making you happy, what's making your heart feel like a little happy 3-year-old playing. Okay, it's something else to this situation, but I think we will see it. It's Taurus energy again. Also, what we have Pisces and Cancer, a little bit of Scorpio. Also, Scorpio is usually the death card. And this is Libra, and this is Cancer. And then we have Fortune Fairy that's connected to the Magician. It's Mercury. Okay, because Mercury is going very quickly around the sun, like a Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so what we have so far is this with you digesting pain, and then you need to savor the happy moments as well, because you're not supposed to you know, become a creature of the night, really emo and dress in black and be all sad. You're supposed to digest your pain, not wallowing in it. So remember this, it's very important, Sagittarius, for you're going through rather tough challenges, so you need to be able to savor the good moments when they come and not stay in some kind of victim mode. You should never be in victim mode. Why you are sad is because you are remembering something from the past that needs to be digested, and when you are not digesting, you are skipping around like this happy cow in the meadow, doing happy things with your happy friends. Okay. So might be a love relationship with the Taurus as well. King of Wands, the Hierophant, and this Three of Cups in between. Yes. Or a family situation, like being happy with family. Might be that you need to sort out things with your original family, like with your birth family. So to fix that part might fix your whole life. So, but many of you won't even want to go there, but if you do, and you start to not hide yourself anymore, but show your true self in your original family, that might heal like big chunks of karma for you. Okay, so this is your future, and here we have the Eight of Wands. So Eight of Wands is some communication coming through about this situation with the Three of Swords and the Three of Cups. So you might get knowledge about something that's very sad or very happy. It will be different for different people. For some of you, it will be maybe someone coming back from the past. Maybe you had a breakdown here and you start dating other people here, and now there's coming through some information here, and it might be you sending this information as well, or a fire sign in your life. And here we have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is shielding. So in some of your situation, it will be that someone is very possessive and shielding about their family. Maybe they don't let you invite you in or let you go there. Maybe they keep secrets about what's really going on. Maybe they are saying that nothing is wrong with my family. I have not been hurt in my original family and things like this. But really they have, and they are just trying to, you see, Four of Cups, Four of Swords, Four of Pentacles. They're just trying to avoid the subject because it hurts too much. But in there lies a seed of healing. This is the Six of Cups. So if you go back, it might be that your partner or your friend or whoever you are dealing with need to go back to their original family to fix things. And they are very protective of that. They don't even want to acknowledge that there was a problem. No, my original family was perfect. And there's no such thing. We always be traumatized by our parents or our original family. It's how it's rigged. So we will open the original wound and work it through this lifetime. In other case, we will just go down here as we were living in paradise, and we are not. On earth, we are here to heal our broken hearts and get a lot of knowledge. Okay, a lot of experience. This is why we're here. We are here. It's like it's the planet for the heroes, the one that really wants to dig deep and do the work through and through. So when we are born into a family, we're always going to be traumatized in one way or the other. So that is our mark. That is the thing we need to solve. And if you can solve it with your original family, that's so much better. So this might actually be you going back to your home, to the foundation of the tower. So you might see with the eights that something is repeating in your life, and it's going back to your original foundation. So you want to go back and fix the foundation. So this is what I see for many of you, that either you need to tell, like, if you have a love partner, you want what's best for them, and you shouldn't rub in their face that maybe their mother is a narcissist or whatever. People are very, they are identifying with their parents. So if you say something nasty about their mother, they might hate you forever, okay? So be very careful with this. But if you see that they're hurting because of something old, you might be talking, like, talk about yourself and your experience, and maybe they will start to think about, okay, how is it for me in my life? so you can help them. But mostly it's, of course, it's about you. But I'm seeing that many of you is with a very closed off person that has a big wound and don't want to tell it. They are just like, I'm so happy in my family, but you know that there's things underneath surface that's not so happy, and that's why I'm bringing this up. But this might also be what other people see with you, that you're trying to have a happy exterior, but really it's deep stuff going on with your foundation that's need to be fixed. So it's like going back. It was enlightened person that was talking. I don't remember who it was, but I heard his story to Eckhart Tolle, and he said that if you think you're so enlightened, go and spend a week with your parents. And this is what I see that Sagittarius might need to do. Go and spend a week with your parents and see when you're starting to panic and wants to get out of there. Then you stay with yourself and you feel like, if I were my natural self now, what would I do? Okay, flee is the first thing, but that might be how you're conditioned, like your survival skill. If you go deeper, what would you do? And even deeper, what would you do? So try to stay in the situation. Maybe it's talking, because it seems like this is why you're here. You're here to spread the word. The magician, the fortune fairy. You see, you're here to put ignition into people and make them through love, through the glue of loving you, doing the work that they are avoiding. And you are avoiding it too, because you don't want to drag up things that you see, but you don't want to say it. So out of this polite thing again, you're avoiding to do your mission to help people to grow. And you can do it in very diplomatic and delicate ways. You don't have to rub it in their face. You can be like, anytime they bring up something about their mother, you can say, I understand it must have been hard for you growing up with her. She's so very skilled. She knows everything. You must have felt inferior in some way, but I hope you know that you're not. So this is how you can strengthen a person, not by rubbing their nose in it, by actually lifting them up with it. And you can see here, this is someone helping the other person and trying to lift them out, trying to give of their strength to make them see how lovable they actually are. So this might be how you can help a person and go around the problem with not rubbing their nose in it. And it doesn't have to be like their family. It can be like a trait that they have got from their family, nasty personality traits that's really hard to live with. And you can do the same here, and you can identify why the person has this problem and how you can help them see this without really like making them sad about it and making it even worse. So you are the King of Wands here. There's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders to make this situation harmonious. It's like a weight is upon you that is upon you because you are the one that can make it happen. You can solve this. You have the settings in your personality and in your soul. It's like you have been put down here in this place to help people resolve some of these issues. And yes, here's the 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups comes underneath the fortune fairy. So this can be very lucky for your love relationships when you start to like see things from the other person's perspective. You need to see your things from your perspective first. You need to love yourself. And when you have learned the lesson of your loving yourself, you can start sharing this love with others and start to help them heal. You shouldn't try to help someone heal that doesn't love you and not wanting to do the work with you. They need to be open for business, okay? They need to be open to do the work. So when you can test this by saying, yes, this is how I feel in this situation, and see how the person reacts. If they are heading through the door and saying, oh, you're stupid, I'm breaking up with you. So they are not yours. They are not your person that you are supposed to work with. There needs to be a person that wants to put the work into the situation, at least be able to talk about things. Some subjects is touchy-feely, yes, but when you tell how you feel, if they love you, they should be there and try to shelter you like this. if they love you, okay? If they don't, if they only love themselves in the very selfish ego way, not true like love, they don't love themselves to the core, they just love the picture that they are painted about themselves, the grandiose picture, then they are going to be like, oh, I don't care about how you feel, you make me feel like this in this situation, so what about that? And yes, they might be gone. So that's not a person that you should invest time and effort into. But the people that you love and that love you back, and they are hurt, and you can help them by showing small things, like being very, very king-like about this. Okay, like this king is a king that also take care of the poor in his kingdom, and see to that everyone is well. And this is also talking about all the different parts of you. That you can, people that's in your life and are wounded, they are just a mirror of how you are wounded too. So I just wanted to say that. But it seems like a situation that has been very painful could actually be turned out to be like stable friendship for the rest of your life, a marriage, or something even better, like fixing your original wound. Yes. Deep knowing. Yes, you really need to be smart about this. You really need to meditate on things and digest things and really get to know the bottom of the issue. Like here with the High Priestess. Know what all your inner soul parts is up to, and seeing what's up with the other person. You need to be very, very much aware. Like with the Ace of Swords that we saw. Intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, hypersensitivity. Okay, so this is what I felt here, this hypersensitivity. You have used it to not step into over people's boundaries, but really it's a lot of things that you see that you should start to tell in a very diplomatic way. You're avoiding it, you're so compassionate with them because it's like you're walking in their shoes. So it's something really big here that you need to do to help both yourself and other people. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are thought to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. So you are so clear when you see other people. You see straight into their soul, and you're making all these excuses for how they are behaving, when really you should start to gently tell them about their shadow, what they are doing. No. Yes, this deep knowing allows you open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitation of human experience. You're given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then to act accordingly. You're now invited into this sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. So you're tapping into your greater self here, Sagittarius, and this is the moment when the real work is beginning for you. Everything up to now has been probably you digesting old wounds and healing yourself and getting to terms with whatever has been. But now it's like you already have become the Buddha that's in the center here, because you have both the High Priest, the Hierophant, and Eight of Wands. So this is what has come through. It's your soul, and it's here now to do the work. So don't feel stressed by the responsibility here. So you're like Jesus now. That's nice. And for people cross-watching, it might be talking to you, because this videos is for the people that will be guided to listen. Okay, so it might not just be Sagittarius, it might be you too, and that your Sagittarius woke you up and stressed you to the moment that you were able to do this. Okay, play with me. Okay, so we will read this. Play with me. It's number 15. Here. There is a more joyful way for you to be yourself in the world. That's what I said. You need to be yourself, and you are too polite to be your true self. You're folding your wings down. To access that, you will need to let go of the struggle you have endured and your past suffering. All this thing here. You do not have to deny what you have been through, nor do you need to ignore your feelings, but you do need to be willing to put it behind you now. You will not lose anything through doing this, except your pain. It has served a purpose. Now it's time for another way. It's time for play. So it's time for play, for your soul to play and to do the thing that your mission said. And it has been like you have been very patient, like with the Taurus, 2 Taurus card that came, Knight of Pentacles. You had this mission, but everything needed to be put into right place. And now it is. So now it's time for you to start to do the healing work on earth. Okay, so this was an easy message to swallow, and I hope it will help you on your journey, and also help you to see that don't be a victim in your situations. Know that you are put here as a light in a very dark room. People are not supposed to be nice to you there. You are supposed to help them to step into the light. Okay, dark creatures maybe. That might be the case for some of you as well. Don't victimize yourself in the process though. Don't let anyone step all over you. You are the Buddha here. You have boundaries. You come kind of straight from God. This is also a teaching. When you say to people, here's the limit. When you're very strict with people like that. And that's making them at ease. Also, demons and devils. I'm just joking, but it's people that has really... They have stumbled and fallen into darkness, and it doesn't mean that they are evil. It just means that they don't love themselves, okay? You can make them love yourself by just showing how much you love yourself, by putting boundaries. And that will make this person at ease and know, okay, that shit doesn't work with this person. And that might be the only thing you need to do, showing your own dignity and shining your light in that dark world. So for some of you, you have this difficult thing to do. Okay, I hope this helped, and I want you to take really good care. And I hope you will join me at my Mars reading that I will perform in the middle of February. Okay, bye-bye.